it's Jake Mace with Phoenix Longevity Arts. There are 4 different aspects that must be focused on when training Kung Fu. 1 is learning the Kata or the Tao Lu. 2 is performing the Kata or the Tao Lu. 3 is extracting the fighting applications from the Tao Lu or the Kata. And 4 is the conditioning that'll make you better at performing the Kata or the Tao Lu. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to train and how to attack each of those 4 areas to make you the greatest Kung Fu master you can be. In aspect number 1, it's learning and memorizing the Kata. In this area, there are some methods that you can do to ensure that your memory will be crisp, sharp, and long-lasting. So let's turn me into the role of the student and let's practice how I learn a sequence of Chinese Kung Fu. When I'm learning a sequence of Chinese Kung Fu for the first time, my goal is to memorize the sequence after only seeing it for 3 repetitions. So it's very important that the master or the sifu that's teaching you gives you a manageable chunk that you can commit to memory in just 3 times. Once I have the sequence memorized, I then practice it 8 times facing 8 different directions: north, south, east, west, and then the diagonals. And so to show you what I'm talking about, let's focus on a section of Black Tiger Kung Fu, and again, let me play the role of the student and show you what I'm talking about.
This is Black Tiger Sequence 1. Straight spots. Okay. Bow. Step back with the right leg. Strike 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Spin, hit to the left. Step forward, spin, hit to the right. 360 spin, block high, rip under. Step all the way through, clear out to the sides. Straight leg kick, cross low, hit high. Step forward, double strike. Claw forward, strike, high, low, high, low, high. Other side now. High, low, high. Forward, roll, into reverse bow. Okay, jump forward, claw in, strike. Hold back, tiger eye. Step to monkey, chop. Block inside, spin, side thrust kick. Land in reverse bow. Now we're going to go block down, strike low to the groin, tiger eye. Other side. Block in, low, tiger eye. Step up and bow. Redo it again. I think I got it.
Okay, so I got 3 times learning this Black Tiger sequence, sequence 1. So let me try to do it once on my own. Now remember, I told you 8 different directions on your own once you have memorized the sequence. So here's what I'm talking about. While the teacher stands by and watches you, we're going to bow and try the whole sequence once facing the regular direction. Okay, so the sequence was 5 attacks. Circle this way, circle this way. Spin through, ripping up, step forward, cross, straight kick, crouching down, double hit this way, block down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, block down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then it'll be a roll, reverse bow, block and strike, hit, block, side kick, from here, reverse bow down, under strike over, under over, and draw up and bow. So you don't have to sit there and watch me, you can get up and try this yourself. Once I got it facing the north, I'm going to turn around to the same sequence facing the south. Now, I'm going to keep this going, facing the west, then facing the east, then facing northwest, then northeast, then southeast, then southwest. 8 times. I'll meet you back here in a couple seconds. All right, it's starting to feel more natural. I'm getting that flow of the form. I'm starting to feel the pieces just linked together nicely. That was my 8th repetition. And this way, when you go home with a different environment, different setting, you won't get confused, because many of my students, many of you probably, when you memorize a sequence of Kung Fu for the first time, you get addicted to the room that you learned it in. So the 8 different directions of learning on the cardinal directions and the diagonals force you to get used to different surroundings. When you go home, you'll be able to do it in any environment. So now, we should have it memorized. And let's talk about the second aspect of Kung Fu proper training, which is proper performance of the kata. The performance of a sequence of Kung Fu should not be rushed. It should be done with mindfulness. There are professional golfers that I've always learned about that on the morning of tournaments, they eat slower, they tie their shoelaces slower, they walk from their car through the parking lot to the golf course slower, because they're trying to become mindful of every action they make. And a Kung Fu kata or Tao Lu is the exact same thing. It's no different. We need to be mindful of each move in the sequence. So, slow down. There's no rush. There's no prize in Kung Fu for whoever finishes first. There's a prize in Kung Fu for whoever finishes correctly. So let's do the same Black Tiger sequence we just learned and practiced on the 8 directions, and let's perform it properly right now. So now we're in the crucial 3rd aspect of training Kung Fu properly, and this is drawing out and training the fighting application of the sequence we've just learned. Sometimes called Kata, sometimes called Tao Lu. What I tell my students is, whatever the form is you just learned, you need to extract 5 fighting applications from it that you can do successfully during the fight. Because if you think about too many moves at once, they're all going to conflict with each other and you'll know nothing. These MMA fighters and boxers have a couple of things they do incredibly, and they can build a career off of it because they can take everybody out with 1 or 2 good moves. But they have a lot of moves in their arsenal, but they favor 1 or 2 that are their masterpiece moves. So I want you to develop 5 masterpiece moves per form, sequence, or kata that you're learning at your Kung Fu school right now. Let's show you the 5 that I'm pulling out of this sequence. So the first fighting application of the sequence that we're showing in this video that really speaks to me is the part where I step forward, I cross, my claws go to the sides, and then I straight leg kick forward. And here's how it's going to look when I use it in the fight. I'm going to do it off a choke. Let's say he's come in, he's choking me out, and he's got my throat. What I'm going to do is take my hands over the top and collapse his arms down, pow, like this. I don't have to do the full extension to the side. I could stop it at any point I choose. After that, I do the straight leg kick right to his groin. So the full move looks like this. Sometimes the fighting applications are simple, sometimes more complex. You need to have both. So the next one, number 2, is very simple. It's the part after the straight leg kick where I cross in front and crouch down really low. The way that I'm interpreting this move in the fight is if we're both in a fighting position, I'm going to try to do a short duck, go underneath his defense and hit him in the stomach, ribs, or groin, and that's the sneaky part underneath like this. I don't have to cross step, I don't have to do both arms. I can do as much or as little of the move as I want in the fight, because the fight's about effectiveness. Here's how it looks. From here, we're going to slip underneath, hit to the stomach, or hit to the groin, or hit to the ribs. Here's how it looks, full power. For the third fighting application, we're going to use the move in the form where I block down, hit a claw to the groin, and then a tiger eye punch. And since I can't hit full power at the same amount of force with this as I can with this, therefore, in the fight, I'm going to use this. I'm not going to use this yet. Maybe in a few years, I'll focus on this tiger eye. I'll be better, but for the time being, let's do what I do well. So when we're in the fighting application, I'm going to try, if I can, to position him how I want him. So we're both friends, and you have to have somebody you trust for fighting application in order to practice day in and day out and get very skillful. So change your side for me. From here, I want to try, if I can, to smother his arm defenses, cover down this way, and then immediately launch in for the groin hit and then the face shot. If I can on this move, I want to try to smother both arms because I'm afraid of this arm hitting me when his front arm is blocked down. A lot of this takes a lot of practice. So once again from here, I'm going to try if I can to smother both arms, cover them down, hit groin with the claw, full on punch with the fist. And then full speed looks like this. The fourth application from this particular sequence is going to be off a haymaker attack with the left side. This is the sequence where I block in like this, and I spin through and side kick up high with my right leg. So here's how it looks in the fight. He's going to throw that haymaker. I'm going to lift and block in, immediately put this foot down, whip it around, and side kick right to his body. One more time. Here, spin through, side kick to his body. And here's how it looks, full go. And the last fighting application is off the roll. When I teach rolls for the fight, I show how rolls are really training you to roll through somebody on a double leg shot. Let me show you what I'm talking about. In the form, I went from here to my roll and up, back into my original position. In the fight, I kind of want to do the same principles, but change it a little bit. So when your attacker is here in front of you, I want to try, if I can, to come under his defenses, take this leg through, put my shoulder into him, and if I can, roll through. Maybe I'll pick him up, or maybe I'll trap his leg with my leg and just push through. Either way, I'm trying to use the momentum I learned from the roll to go through him like a boulder. Here's how it looks full speed. And the fourth and final aspect of proper Kung Fu training is the conditioning. And in my opinion, this is the most fun area. Conditioning your body to be physically able to perform the Kata, Tao Lu, or sequence more skillfully as you approach masterful status at performance. So with this particular form, I noticed a few things that I want to focus on to make myself better at the form. One is grip, fingertip, and arm strength. So one drill that I would do for tiger skill is use a 2-liter bottle of soda. I don't drink soda, but I use it for training. You are not allowed to throw the bottle in the air like this. It's a straight drop, catch before it hits the ground. Straight drop, catch. Straight drop, catch. Then vertical, switching pinky up, pinky down, pinky up, pinky down, pinky up, pinky down. 50 times each. Then other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You may be strong, therefore fill your bottle with sand. Make it heavier. 50 times each. Then put it back here, have this hand here, and go for speed. Without throwing the bottle in the air, we hit and catch before it hits the ground. Hit, catch. Notice how this hand is not moving out, it's staying in place, and we're clapping it. Other side. Three drills with the bottle. After the bottle, we take a jar in which the opening of the jar has a diameter that is similar to what your hand can comfortably hook onto. I filled mine with granite rock, so it's got some weight. Bend my fingers and grip it over the top, and this is going to train you for having proper fingertip strength for grabbing somebody's neck or capturing limbs. From here, I hold on to the bottle and I swing it without letting any of the granite rock fall out. So I go about 50 times in a good stance, staying focused, and I keep all the granite rock in with momentum. Then, once I have 50, I go the other direction. Once I have 50, I switch. It's going to make your fingers raw, like learning to play the guitar for the first time. But you will get stronger. 50 times per direction, not letting any of the gravel fall out. This is loose gravel. The momentum keeps it in. Next, of course, is push-ups and pull-ups. Push-ups for the striking, pull-ups for the grabbing and pulling. For push-ups, I just want you to burn out 1 minute of constant push-ups. Even if you have to drop to your knees, that's fine. But keep the action going for the whole minute. Coming down this way. Good position, and begin. Good, that was about 1 minute. Now the pull-ups. On the pull-ups, many of you are very good at pull-ups, some of you are not. So here's a way that everybody can get benefit and conditioning from pull-ups. We start and we try, if we can, to do as many pull-ups as our body will let us with full range of motion, up, down. Once you're at your limit, you can try to hop up into the pull-up and come down slowly. Hop up into it and come down slowly. That way you're still getting a negative conditioning workout, but you're also strengthening the muscles that need to be strengthened with your body weight. So whether it's positives or negatives, pull-ups are so important for the grabbing, pulling, and wrestling type moves, as well as hand and fingertip strength. And of course, this sequence has a lot of deep stances in legs. For legs, I'm going to practice sinking down in what we call reverse bow on the left. Get a good stretch going. Then reverse bow on the right, taking care to have both feet flat on the ground and this leg straight with my toe turned in. Then I'm going to try to pump out 1 minute of squats with no hands, with my back straight. Get up and join me. Good, and that's about our minute. And we have one last area of conditioning to do, possibly the most important. The final area of conditioning that's very important for proper Kung Fu form performance. You get yourself a 50-pound weight vest. This one we vacuum seal the BBs in it, and we can wear it just like it's a t-shirt. They have a lot of these online. Check it out. Once we have our weight vest securely on us, we perform the sequence with the weight vest on. Weight vest Taolu performance is much more physically demanding, but the benefits are tremendous. Good luck practicing the 4 aspects of Kung Fu. Share this video with your friends. Let them in on the 4 aspects that will improve their Kung Fu and make them that much closer to becoming a true Kung Fu master. This is Jake Mace. We'll see you next time. And remember, consistent practice is everything.